Normally, I would feel a wee bit guilty about doing a post in a swimming pool, in a raft, because I'm sure I'm going to get all these comments about how tone deaf I am. Well, I don't feel any guilt, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I have just survived a 2-hour bike ride with an 8-year-old with autism, anxiety, and fairly severe ADHD, a 12-and-a-half-year-old daughter, and myself. Yes, I did. So now I'm recovering. So we're down in Key Biscayne, Florida, at my parents' house, and we rented this thing called a buddy bike. And they're made in Florida. They're super awesome. And it's not in the pool. I'd have to get out of it to show it to you, so you're going to have to wait. But look up buddy bike. And it's basically 2 seats, so my seat, and then Amos sits on a seat in front of me. And then we have long handlebars that I hold on to. And then he has his own little handlebars. So, he rode in the baby seat till he was like 5. And then after 5, he got too big. We bought like a little extension thing for him to ride in behind our bike. And I know, Nina. So anyway, the last couple years, we have not, probably 2 years, we haven't been able to take a bike ride, which is, like, our family has always been really into bike rides. In fact, this house where I am now, my grandparents lived here, and they had 11 bikes. 11 bikes. All my cousins, well, I didn't have a bike, but I just rode on the back of somebody else's bike. You know how it was back then. And so anyway, so we love a bike ride, and it's hard for us to do things together because it's like you have to get a babysitter for Amos, who's 8, so you can take a bike ride, and it's annoying, it's annoying, and we want him to go with us. So I rented this bike this week from Buddy Bikes. Don't flip over. Oh my God, what if I did? Amos is in there watching Ninjago. I'm waiting for him to yell and throw something. So we go on the buddy bike and we ride. Key Biscayne is an island. It's like maybe 7 miles, and there's a state park and a national park. So we ride down to the state park, Crandon Park, and we go through the old zoo. So the Miami Zoo used to be on Key Biscayne originally. It's a lot of history for y'all. And Blair and I and Amos ride through there, having a great time. He doesn't wear a helmet, but you got to let some things go. Then we ride over to the playground, which is sort of closed, but we go over the fence anyway and use it. And then we go to get back on the bike, and I'm like, oh my God, the freaking tire is flat. 1 minute it wasn't, and 1 minute it was. So I'm like, okay, what are we going to do? Okay, we're going to push the bike, and look, there's a bike rental place, as far as somebody with a good arm could throw a baseball. So we walk over there. We find this guy who's got some sort of way you can blow up a bike tire with a drill. Have you ever seen that? I didn't even know that existed. What? Amos has just made the bike fall over. Amos, what do you need? There goes my fun. He's just not the bike over, evidently. He does like it. My mother's handling it. We'll see if she survives. Anyway, the guy blows up the tire. Well, at this point, it's a neat area. You can buy a hot dog, and they have toys outside for people to play with. And there's probably 20 picnic tables with, where'd he go?
Back in his room.
Oh.
Came out and
Gave the bike, he's watching Ninjago.
pushed the bike up.
Ninjago makes him feel like a ninja. And so we're at I'm telling him what happened with the bike tire. This guy has a drill to blow up the tire, which I'd never seen before. And then, so Amos and Blair, they have toys down there, and there's about 20 sets of Jenga. The wooden things on the tables. Which is great, until you have Amos, who likes to basically toss the Jenga sets. So then the man is like, if y'all can pick up stuff before you leave. I said, oh yeah, that makes sense. Well, we pick up one Jenga set, and there goes another Jenga set. I mean, this could go on for years with the Jenga sets. Well, then at that point, the back tire's flat again. I said, well, I don't know how we're going to do this. We got to get out of here with this tire. We got Jenga sets going here, there, and yonder. Well, we realized the bike tire was not going to stay pumped. So I was like, okay, we'll walk. So we walk a while. And then Blair says, well, I think you can ride the bike anyway. And I said, well, okay, maybe you're right. I know you're not supposed to ride a flat tire, but why not? We learned why not. When you ride a tire that's flat, the tube will come out of the tire and wrap around the tire, and then the tire doesn't work anymore. Look.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. So then, so at that point, you have a busy street. You have a 12-and-a-half-year-old daughter on her own bike. You have an 8-year-old who, Amos does things we all feel like doing. Perhaps he does. You have an 8-year-old. You have me not pushing a bike, but now carrying the front of a bike. Now, this is why I don't feel guilty about laying in this pool. I'm going to tell you, there are moments like that. I said to Blair, Blair's looking at me, and I'm looking at Blair, and I'm thinking, I could start crying. She could start crying. We could all have a great big cry fest and feel sad for ourselves. But you know what? We're not going to. Like, life is hard. And I said to her, fire is what makes things beautiful. Like, this is hard, and hard things are okay. And so she tried. You pushed him a little while on your bike.
Mm-hmm. And he wanted to pedal.
I said I felt like you and I both were looking at each other like we could start crying, and then we just decided to start laughing. And then the best part was, so I'm carrying the bike, and we've got him, and I'm like, okay, we're going to leave a bike on the corner so we can cross this busy street. Well, then we go by a bus stop. Tell him what he says when we get to the bus stop.
Time out.
He says, I need time out. So he sits down in the bus covered area on a bench, like he's waiting for public transportation. And we were like, well, So I put my bike down. She stopped. And then after a couple minutes, I've learned if you're going to argue with him, you will lose. Blair said today, why does he like to argue with me? Why do you think he does? He has a real need to be right. And he will make you want him to be right. So anyway, I said, well, I guess we'll go get our ice cream sandwich. Well, then he got up. So we got across. The really nice man it's called Peloton Bikes, which is interesting that you can have a bike store called Peloton. Because I didn't see any Pelotons in there, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, she did. On Key Biscayne. He was super nice. He fixed it for us in 5 minutes for $22. He looked at me. He was like, you can just roll it inside. I was like, I can't roll it anymore. It won't roll. I have to carry it. And at this point, I had already gone in 7-Eleven, bought Blair and Amos ice cream and a pack of M&Ms. And then I said to the nice cashier, they're going to just sit over here on the floor while I go get a bike. And she was like, okay.
I don't want you to go get
Blair said she doesn't think they're speaking. She doesn't speak. She said okay. And Amos had on no shoes, and I've never seen feet so black in my life. So that's why I'm in the pool. But you know what? We did it. We got home. We waited. We managed to not have a fuss. No one cried. The bike got fixed. Blair and I realized we were perfectly adept trying to teach a dolphin to type. That's my alarm. Why did I set the alarm? Oh, maybe that is it. Well, she has the golf cart. I think so too, Melissa. Get ready to go to town. That's what we call Miami town. I might take a shower, or I might just go in my bathing suit. Anyway, that's our big excitement. How was the zoo? Oh, it was fun. Really fun. Okay. Subscribers, I'm going to come on and talk to y'all next with my mother. We're going to get a mother-daughter interview. Ah! Here. Subscribe if you need a lot of excitement. Or just somebody to feel like you can commiserate with. You found the right place. Bye.